Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Joining me today on the block is Josh. How are you doing today, Josh?
Hi, I'm doing good, Chantel. I'm so excited.
Yay! If this is your first time joining us on the block, please do us a favor and subscribe. We are part of the Reality Pop Network, and it's going to be your new hub for all things reality. So we're talking today about episode 9 of Big Brother Canada. What are your overall thoughts of the episode, Josh?
I thought it was great. It was really good. I mean, I think I think the last episode was amazing, but I think this is kind of like a little bit of a filler episode. I mean, we got some stuff, but there's been more this season. The season's been great. I love it. It's been awesome.
Yeah, me too. So on a whole, you'd say this is a good, is this your first time watching Big Brother Canada?
This season, I've watched past seasons. So I watched the Netta season, obviously. Season 2 is incredible. I watched season 3 and season 2 through 5, I was really big into because season 4, they had Nikki Graham. I'm a huge Nikki Graham fan. Love BBUK. And season 5,
she's doing better. I heard from I saw some posts that she wasn't doing really well.
Yeah.
Her family and friends are saying that she's gained a lot of weight, so she's actually
good.
Better.
I know that she's battled with an eating disorder. She was very public about that. So good for her. That's awesome. Honestly though, season 5 is the best season of BBCan. It's
good.
Incredible because of Queen Eka Wong. Come on.
True. I always say that my claim to fame kind of with Big Brother Canada is season 2 was the first season that I auditioned for the show, and I got decently far into it. And the last line of my video was, I was living in Vancouver, and I'm like, and if for nothing else, you always need a token black girl. And then it was Eka, and I'm like, okay, if Eka's the token black girl on a season, the token black woman of season 2, and it's not me, I'm like, okay, fine, she can have the title, But
exactly. But I mean, I think you'd do incredible on the show, just as you. I think you'd be amazing. You would slay.
I would hope so. I mean, that's what I've been talking about. Is I think that because there's no air signs in there, so air signs, it's going to be Aquarius, Gemini.
Yeah.
And we're the heady people. We're the people that over-strategize. We overthink. We overanalyze. We talk. We get into rooms, strategize, and think about things. And I feel like they're missing that in the house. That's why it's just so messy and emotional. It's so weird. I'm like, everybody's so emotional. So it's making really interesting, good feeds. Absolutely. But I'm like, what? That's really not a strategic move. That's really not good for your game. And
agreed.
To care at all. What do you think of, just catching myself up with your thoughts of the season, of Victoria's head of household reign? How do you think that went down?
I think she definitely wanted LaToya out. It was obvious. It's a little petty, but I love Victoria. I stand Victoria from day one. This girl is pure entertainment, and I think she got what she wanted, so there we go. But I do like LaToya too. I think LaToya potentially was a slaying player. I think LaToya could have potentially gone on to win the game, but that's just my opinion. But she took out a big threat.
I was definitely a fan of LaToya. It's a big joke in my lives here. I'm always like, it's true. But my brother's girlfriend's brother's ex-girlfriend is LaToya.
I love her.
6 degrees of separation. I know LaToya. And I was hoping to maybe even get her on here and talk about her. But so since I kind of know her a little bit,
bring me on if you.
I know, right? I know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can weasel my way in there and get her to come and chat with us. But I just wanted to support her no matter what. She's a friend of the family basically, and I didn't want her to go, but because she wasn't willing to compromise her integrity and she didn't want to lie, she didn't want to not be upfront and honest about where she was coming from. I don't know if she was good enough to play Big Brother. I think she's good at strategizing. I think she's good at being loyal. I think she's potentially pretty good at competitions.
Maybe Survivor.
Maybe better at Survivor because people would want to keep her for a number, loyalty, and strength, especially in the beginning when it's all numbers game and tribes. I think she might do better in a Survivor circumstance.
For sure.
Dude, I do. So we start off this episode, and I was looking just to see who looked shocked and who didn't, because there were some accounts saying that, like, oh, Beth, Ty, and Jed, they didn't actually look shocked, and neither did Latoya. And I looked at this time. Beth made like the face, like she was shocked.
Beth totally shocked.
Why are they shocked?
I don't know, but I think Beth was legit though. Beth was seriously shocked.
I do think she was seriously shocked, but how could she be shocked? Like, I don't find Victoria to be a very good liar. So I'm like, you're believing that?
Apparently she did. So
good.
Beth is kind of, the one, I think she's living off those boys. So, I mean, she's one of those players. Not usually a fan of those players, but that's just me.
Well, that's a Poverty kind of style. People have been comparing her to Poverty. What do you think about that comparison?
Poverty on Survivor?
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. That actually would be it because, hey, it worked for Poverty. It got her a win. It got her really good placements apart from the last time when she was married. So, it didn't work so well when it was married Poverty with kids, but, there you go.
So, I don't think that she's as cunning, we'll say, as Poverty is, but I do think that using her appeal, I think it's a valid strategy, and not everybody can use that. I mean, Austin could use that because she's drop dead gorgeous, but she doesn't seem to use that. Well, maybe with Kyle a little bit, but not as much as Beth is right now. So, team Sunsetters or team Oddballs?
Okay, so we were talking about this. I'm gonna have to go with team Sunsetter. I just think there's better gamers in that group over the Oddballs, but I mean, I do kind of like the Austin Brayden pairing. So like, I don't know, maybe I'm team Oddball. I can't decide. That's the Gemini in me. I can't. I like both sides. I like both because like I'm looking at it and I love Victoria. So maybe I like Oddball.
Well, what? Okay, no, I'm just kidding. No, you can like who you like. Obviously, we just have a little bit of a difference of opinion.
Okay.
Personally, like I like Victoria at the very beginning when she first came on the show. I was really excited. She's very enthusiastic when she wants to play. She's a super fan. I love all super fans. I just felt with her head of household reign, as much as it was entertaining, that it was petty, but it didn't feel good. Like I didn't enjoy her being so petty to Latoya. Like I know that Latoya was like, is such a stand-up person that I just didn't feel that she needed to have like the egg on the face and then they kick her while she's down. Like it's just a little bit unnecessary, the lengths that they went just to make her look bad. And so I just wasn't really a fan of that. And then I'm also not a fan about how far she's going to throw Beth under the bus here. She may not like Beth. This might have been her strategy, to like, I'm going to try to get the heat off of me. But it's just like, I just don't like it. It's kind of mean. And if she wasn't an oddball, it would be considered bullying to a certain extent.
It is a little bit catty, especially if she was trying to throw Beth under when it's kind of obvious that Beth didn't know about this. And I don't know. I did think it was catty, but I still like her. I think I like her archetype because it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun to see what she's going to do next. I feel like she's kind of does what she wants. And I like that. But at the same time, I was a little petty.
For me, though, I've played quite a few of these online reality games and a few live ones. And I just can't handle loose cannons like that in the game. I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna get out. Like,
girl, we were just talking. I just got voted out of one of those about like 5 minutes ago. I got rocked out tonight. So literally 5 minutes ago. So shout out to Good and Evil. It was fun while it lasted.
I'm sorry. How deep were you into the game?
So there were 36 people in the game, and I think I got like 20th. So I made it like halfway.
Okay, so they haven't merged yet then, I guess.
No, I'm pre-jury. I'm not even, no.
I definitely would be interested in, that's just another one that I haven't heard of. I've heard of a few, and I get asked to play quite a few, but...
Actually, one of the guys that I was playing with knew you, and I don't know I think his name's Mitch?
Mitch,
maybe, and he lives in England.
Oh, what?
He lives in England, I'm pretty sure. I forgot his name, but I was playing with him and he lives in England.
How do you know that he knows me?
Because I told him I was doing a podcast and he's like, oh, one of the past girls I played in Org with, her name was Chantel. I'm like, that's who I'm going on with tonight.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Swear, I don't remember his name. I think it's Mitch. I don't know these people. Yeah.
Mitch.
Shout out to his character's name is Oswald, though. It's an Alias game, so that's his name. So yeah.
I didn't play. He wasn't on my closed ID org.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna talk about that offline
We'll have to figure it out.
That's hilarious. Unless he's just lying to you. Maybe you never know, right? He's close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really upset though that how Victoria was just kind of throwing Beth in the bus, but I was really proud of Beth for just taking it because it's really easy to blow up and try to defend yourself. She's a fire sign, so getting angry and blowing up is very easy for Leos to do, especially when their characters are kind of being under attack. And she really held her cool, and she allowed Vic just to fizzle out, basically. She didn't give her any fuel to cause any drama that Vic was looking for. So what do you think of Beth's strategy here, just to take it?
I think that was smart, but I didn't expect her to do that. So maybe that was I expect her to do the opposite, what you were saying. So because she did, I think it will benefit her in this round. I think that she could have been a bigger target, but I think that by doing that, it will help her out.
I do think, though, that Victoria could have maybe got away with what she was saying about Beth if she didn't pull in and she wanted Ty to be the replacement nominee. The fact that Ty was even considering this to be a possibility, it makes me less, having faith in his gaming ability, because there's no way that Beth would do that to you. What do you think about Victoria's choice of throwing her under the bus with Ty, and how the fact that Ty was believing it?
I thought it was an interesting choice, to say the least, but I don't know. Maybe Ty would have been a good option. I feel like he's a strong player, truthfully. So maybe I think Ty might be the right option on that, and might have been.
From Beth, she needs him in front of her. I know though that a big theme for tonight's episode was breaking up the pairs.
Yeah.
So I get in the sense that if he's gone, she won't be seen as a big of a threat in that throuple.
Yeah.
But, I think she still needs him now just to get further into the game, because her being by herself, I don't know if anybody else is going to pick her up. I think they would get her out.
Well, here's the thing. Well, Ty also has his pair with Judson. They're together. So breaking that pair up, I think, would be a big move, because they're so strong together. They're two strong guys. So, I mean, that's what I think it would have been.
So Kiefer kind of comes in while Victoria was just completely gaslighting poor Beth. Beth telling Kiefer, or Ty, absolutely not. But in the end, the four of them were there together, and they kind of solidified, it's the four of us, we're in this together. So people were definitely in the house, didn't feel as though Kiefer should be siding with Ty, Jed, and Beth, just for the fact that they were the three votes against him. But what do you think about the fact that he's dug down and he said, I'm not starting new relationships and new alliances, week 4. I'm going to stick with my original Sunsetters.
That doesn't surprise me, though, because he's sticking to what he knows on that end. You know what I mean? And he has his set deals right now going. So that doesn't really surprise me that he's not looking for new stuff right now. He seems like the type of player that is going to stick to who he's with. He might evolve through that, and I think he has his little things going on. But it doesn't surprise me with what he did.
Well, and I probably wouldn't either. I would understand that it was between a rock and a hard place. They thought that Kiefer was the target. That's what everybody was telling him. And so they were going with the house in their opinion. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, well, they need to watch their backs, though, because in the last episode, they were coming for him, and look what happens. You got to be careful with what you do in this game, because you never know who's going to win HOH. The pantry just happened last episode, and then look what happens.
What do you think of that pantry scene? Because that made me also feel a type of way about Kyle and Ro.
I really lost a lot of respect for especially Kyle, but LaToya had his back, and that was good to see. I think LaToya is a high class person, just a good person, and those boys did not show. It kind of made them like bullies.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. There was no kindness there. There's no consideration. Like, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit at the end when he's talking to Ro. But like, you know, he gave me no respect. I just was put up on the block. Like, I'm talking to my block buddy upstairs, and then you come and attack me. Like, the timing was really inconsiderate, and it was because they had all this power now, and they had the odds. And they weren't going to be going up. And then they decide to go down and kick poor Kiefer while he was down. I just thought the tact was off. Maybe the message, like what they want to get across, sure. But how, the method was not, I was not in favor of. And yeah.
It was just great though that Kiefer won this. That
Yes.
won the HOH. It's kind of like, I wish something like this happened in US Big Brother, like Janelle would have won that HOH in week 3. Oh, if only that would have happened. But
oh, the dream. Don't make me dream. Like the other timeline, the other dimension of what would have happened if Janelle had won.
With that mug, if it would have gotten, you know what I mean?
Or like, what was it? Because the week before, I don't remember. But if like Tyler wasn't there, were they try to vote Tyler out the other week? I can't remember what happened. But like, if Tyler wasn't there, or he didn't play or something, and Janelle won, oh my God, it would have changed the entire trajectory of the house because people would start giving her real information, and they would have been kissing her butt.
I know.
Started on BB22.
Let's just forget it happened, okay?
It's part of 2020 where it's just like the blip in time that like nobody really knows what happened there.
You know what I watch instead of Big Brother 22? The Davon videos. That's what I watch. That is Big Brother 222 to me, is the Davon reveals all videos. Those are incredible. I don't know if you've watched them.
I've seen them pop up, but I haven't watched them. Okay, they're good.
Living. It's not even really videos. It's like it's a pod. It's completely podcast. Like I think the first one was video, but she just reveals all the tea, spills it all, and it's incredible. And I just love her. I love her so much.
I know. I'm going to check it out now. I just like was never sure what she was talking about, so I was like, I'm not sure here. Yeah. But if you're endorsing it, I am going to give it a look. See.
Oh, for sure.
What do you think about Kiefer's shirt? Keep it real.
So cute. I love him. He's so lovable because he's not like your standard Big Brother house guest, and that's what I like about him. Like, you would never think like he's gonna be on Big Brother, but I love that, and I love that with casting. Casting did a great job putting him on the show. He's one of my favorites.
I love that he's on the show too, and I do like how he also wears at times some like art. Am I back? Are you back? Who's back? You're back. I don't know if it's mine or yours.
I don't know. I'm here.
Okay, weird. Because like I was having internet problems. It was driving me crazy. So yeah. I'm paying for 2 internets right now because the other one I'm like, get rid of it. Got something new.
I love it.
And this is the first time I'm using it, and I have an internet problem.
It is what it is. You know, we're here though. We're good. Live television, everybody.
This is the realness that we're talking about. This is the third S.
I love it.
I just love that there's a lot of representation of just that's a different part of the world. That I've actually been to areas in BC where there's a lot of like totem work and a lot of history that you get to see. And even if I've ever been to Vancouver Airport, it has like definitely all different totems and different things from Hideaway and whatnot. So it's really nice to see him representing and being so proud of his culture and his people. So I do think that he's a really great pick, and I'm happy he's also a super fan. He's not just like, oh, we need to like increase diversity and like, let me just pull somebody up from the outskirts. No, like he's someone that is a super fan that's also kind of fills in that diversity element. So he is definitely a check mark on casting here for sure. So the old Sunsetters were celebrating, which was really great. And then Vic comes in again. Like Vic keeps on entering and coming in. And it's kind of like, I guess how I'm looking at her, it's kind of like a younger sibling that like wants to play. And then when she plays, she doesn't do it the way people want to do it. And then she gets people mad. And then she kind of comes back and she just wants to still play again.
she's kind of, I'm getting the vibes that she's going to be like the GOAT type player. I think Victoria's going to make it far in this game. I do, because I think people don't see her as a threat, and I think people are going to take her far in the game with them. That's what I feel like.
I hope not. But
yeah, I feel like she's going to make it far. That's
Victoria's stance 100%. So I can see that happening, but I can also see people not being able to trust her.
Yeah.
Like Kiefer, yes, Kiefer trusts her.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that Jed, Ty, Beth, I don't think the three of them trust her. So I don't think that she would be safe in that if any of them won head of household. Now, do you watch the feeds?
I have on and off, but like I started off at first, but I haven't. I've been really busy. I've just been watching the episodes.
I was gonna like kind of bring in a little bit of like feed talk, but if you don't watch them, then no problem. Wait to see.
I haven't, but I'll be getting into them after today. So
I mean, I do like watching because I like knowing everything that's going on. I'm quite nosy. So
yeah.
One thing that seemed to happen, I don't know if they'll ever show it, is that it seems as though the oddballs started to throw Victoria under the bus and kind of like aborted ship with this HOH. And basically when they're campaigning to Kiefer, they were throwing Victoria under the bus. And so he is kind of a lone wolf at this point, and Kiefer is trying to kind of snatch her up. So I don't know if they're actually going to show that, but that's kind of, I guess, what bothered me about last week is that like she had HOH-itis, and they had all these people that are just like feeding off her HOH-itis, and like, Kyle and Bro being all like cocky and arrogant with the Kiefer and all, just the whole dynamic. And then they just drop her at the drop of a hat. Like it wasn't even something secure. And so I'm like, oh, if LaToya was here, it would have been something secure. Like they would never do that. I love loyalty in these games because that's all you can really have and trust. So
I get the vibe. If they do some sort of all-star bring back season, I feel like they'll bring back LaToya. I really feel like they will. I think a lot of people stand LaToya.
Do you think she would come back? Because I don't know if she likes the lying element that she would probably need to do.
I know, but I think people I'd want to see her back. I'd want to see another dose of LaToya for me, personally.
Right? I do too. I want to see her do better. I want to see her in a house with somebody that can help strategize and help her navigate. Like if she had someone, say I was in the house with her, and I could see that she's not reinforcing those relationships with Tara and Tina, I would probably go in and kind of do that work for her a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think she needed somebody that was better socially, that was be willing to not lie, but like just be friendly with people that she just wasn't willing to do. She wasn't willing to put on the fake face.
Exactly.
And clearly she hasn't worked in retail. She hasn't worked in hospitality.
I mean, she's a cop, so hey,
Because like I've had to put on so many fake smiles in my life that like whatever, like house guests I don't love, and it's like
I love it. I absolutely love it.
So Beth is onto something though, and she has a good read. She's saying like, don't tell Victoria anything, and I'm like, thank God. Like
I'm happy she's realizing that.
Like, don't tell her anything because she uses it against you, and in a way that's like not fun or helpful. It's terrible for your game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Victoria definitely is like that type of player that like you just, no matter what, you're like, I can't trust any information with this person. But like, maybe it's that person. It's like, I want information to get out there, so I'm going to tell Victoria, so she tells everybody.
Well, that's true too. You could weaponize. Hold on, let me think. You could weaponize Victoria.
Yeah, you could use Victoria as like, as a fighter for you, and be like, I'm going to tell you this piece of information. It may not even be real information. Victoria will go and tell everybody around the house, and then we're good. Files, nails.
I mean, weaponizing Victoria might be a better strategy to use that loose cannon. But I don't think that anybody in the house would ever be able to do that because they don't think in that same way. But yeah. I'm going to go down this rabbit hole and start thinking about how you could use Victoria as a weapon instead. She would really hate it though, because she doesn't like being told what to do, or she doesn't like people like, controlling her. But
You got to manipulate Victoria the right way, Chantel, so she doesn't, she does what she's got to do. I mean, there's a way to do it.
Go, Victoria. Go, Victoria. So Victoria and Bro are talking in the ballroom, and they were kind of talking about, like, what is Kiefer doing? This was before Victoria knew that she wasn't going to be going up.
Yeah.
They don't really understand why the 3 people that voted him out are safe. Do they not know at all that there was another alliance? Like why and that Kiefer was part of it, or do they just keep Kiefer was completely separate and they don't get it?
I think they thought the second one that he was completely separate. I really think that. I feel like they like him.
Who?
The ones you were just talking about, like with Victoria and whatnot, right? Like, because I mean, she did go to his room as well, and and Kiefer and her had that conversation. Is that like what you're talking about? Because he was saying that he wants to protect her. He wanted to say he wanted to protect Victoria.
Oh yeah, no. But before that, they were in Victoria and Roe, and so they were talking about, like, well, what is Kiefer doing? Why is he hanging out with the 3 of them? Like, they voted him out. Like, he's making such a dumb move, and they're just kind of like talking down like what Kiefer is doing. And I'm just like, well, do they not know that he's working with them on a certain level? Like,
yeah.
It just was surprising to me, but I guess because it's really obvious on the feeds, but it hasn't really shown anything on the episode, and so I guess it's not obvious.
I didn't see it as that. Like, that part for me, like, I didn't see that as. I didn't notice them like really questioning or like why they would think that on that end, but I don't know. I mean, I know Victoria was a little worried at times because of last week or the previous week, but I didn't think she'd end up going up. I
mean, Kiefer's probably the only one that would keep her safe.
Yeah.
At that point.
That's what I was thinking.
Half the house wouldn't have. I don't think that Tina and Tara would have kept safe. I think that Austin and Brayden probably would have. Kyle and Roe, probably.
Yeah, Austin the comp beast.
Right. Now, do you think that she threw it? Am I frozen or are you frozen? Okay.
I'm here. Yeah, I think she did. I think she did, but I don't think it was a good decision. And spoiler alert, we might find out why.
These people in this house that definitely like to bounce those checks. Like, they do not keep their word in this house so far, even though it seems to be a pledge of loyalty house and pledge of honor and, like, want to do the right thing. They don't seem to want to keep their word at all.
Yeah.
Lots of lying happening. So we get Kiefer's head of household room, and he gets a letter from his sister, and he's crying, and it seems like everybody was happy to be there. There's a lot of times in the house where people go up to the head of household room, and they're just like, just keep it appearance.
Kiss their ass. That's the point of HOH, to go up and be like, oh, look at all the cute things in your room. Oh, that's so much fun. Oh my God, it's so amazing. I don't care. I just want to not be on the block. So.
Pretty much. It's like you have to go keep up appearances and then, like, okay, can I leave now? Because I don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
People really want to be there genuinely, to be fair. It could just be like, they don't hate each other yet. There's no like clear dislikes. And it's something to do. It's like, okay, there's something to do today.
Yeah.
Quite boring in the house. Ooh, Dolores is here. Hi, Dolores.
Dolores, hi.
We did throw it.
Dolores watches Couch Potato Queens a lot as well. She watches our Drag Race podcast. So I love Dolores. She's incredible.
I didn't know you knew some of my people.
Yes, Dolores is one of our faves.
Of course she's one of your faves. It's one of my faves. Dolores, always around.
She always agrees with me when, like, the other 2 people in my Drag Race podcast, Sam and Alex, don't. So it's always good.
Speaking of Drag Race, wait, who? I think I didn't agree with who went home. I think I was surprised.
Tina Berner went home this week.
I mean, I liked her lip sync.
She did a great lip sync. I think she did better lip sync than Utica. We didn't do a podcast this week on it, though. We had to take the week off, but I liked her better than Utica, but I understood why they sent her home because she hasn't won. She didn't really impress anybody. It wasn't nothing special from her.
I liked her lip sync better, but
yeah, oh, for sure. Agreed.
She has more interesting and she's more unique. And so I guess, So Dolores says she did throw it. Apparently, in Kiefer's mind, he only agreed to keep her safe for the nominations, and after that, if not, replacement. Yes, I did hear that the wordplay and semantics came in, and he said, "I will not nominate you tomorrow," which would be the next day, where the nomination ceremony. But that wouldn't include the nominations. Yes, so
nobody wants to be backdoored.
no. So Dolores is saying hi to you. He's so cute. You're so cute. Yes,
Thank you, Dolores. I love you.
You did a Uticon. What's the Uticon? Uticon.
Uticon.
I don't know what a Uticon is.
I don't know. I'm not really a stan for Utica, so.
I did think her and Simone were amazing last week. I liked
Simone was incredible. It was amazing. I was dying. I was gagged at Simone's. It was so funny. And Rosé did a really good job too. So
I'm not a fan of Rosé though.
But you would love people on my podcast then because they hate her.
Okay, I will come on and be like, ah.
I love it.
So Ro and Kyle want to talk to Jed and Ty, and they kind of are seemingly trying to build a foursome, and they didn't really show that much on the episode, but on the feeds, they talk a lot about wanting to work together to the point where Ty and Jed were like, if we could throw him the veto, we can take one of them off, get Austin up and vote Austin out. Now, what do you think of this as strategy for these two boys to try and team up with Ro and Kyle?
I hate it because I do like Austin. She is a beast in challenges. I love that she has the potential to be a Janelle. Probably not happening anymore, but I hate a boys alliance. I hate a boys alliance. I hate it. Season 7 season 7 is the worst season of Big Brother Canada because it was dominated by a boys alliance. No one stands a boys alliance because it's boring.
I know. It's really boring. Okay, so I watch Big Brother because I like strategy. Some people watch it for the entertainment of it. So that's why they usually just watch the episodes and they just want to follow the storyline that the producers give to them. But I like going in, dissecting people's motives and motivations and how they maneuver the house. That's what I like about it, figuring out everybody's strategy and what's optimum for my favorites to do well. And so when it's just the boys' strategy, then they're just a comp beast. I don't like all these super athletic competitions within it. I don't need the challenge on Big Brother. It's not the same show to me. I want gameplay. And so I find that, yes, there was some gameplay within the Pretty Boys, for sure. But it seemed that they were able to make these big moves because they were playing as a group of 4 strong guys that kept on winning everything.
I totally agree.
That's not really a strategy, just winning. Helpful to have the power, helpful to make the decisions, but always have power.
I'm kind of mad. I'm mad, because I can't talk about what's actually going on right now. Are we not
at the end? We'll get
okay. I'm mad about what's going on currently. I'm mad about it because I just don't stand for what happens. And when men take over, it's leading nosedive.
So do you think anybody's buying the fact that Victoria is saying that she was completely blindsided by the flip?
No.
Flip that she was trying to avoid, so she put LaToya up on the block so she couldn't flip the house.
Please. But good try, Victoria. Good try. Props to you, mama.
I was impressed though. So Jed, I believe he was talking either to his confessional or just to Ty, and he is noticing that Ro and Kyle are deflecting, that they're not actually answering them or him and Ty with the questions that they're asking. They're kind of saying maybe we should, put up Brayden and Austin, or maybe Tara, or and it's not actually answering direct questions. And so I was happy that Jed picked up on that because it's kind of these guys are saying anything that they can to stay off the block or have your vote or stay in the game. Why are you trusting them? Yeah. But I was happy that he kind of clued in that they didn't seem to be fully transparent. So please go on that train of thought, Jed. Please. So Kyle and Ro now are talking to Kiefer in the head of household room.
Yeah.
And they're kind of asking him, like, do you think that we'd be coming after you? And Kiefer says he doesn't know when he doesn't actually know. I think that they are going after Kiefer more than a lot of other people in the house. And so, especially after the pantry incident, did you not think that maybe they should be nice to somebody because they could potentially get HOH?
It was so poetic after this pantry incident that look who's in charge now. Like, is it even worth going and talking to him? Like, come on, you're going up on the block. They dug their graves. So
bad gameplay. So Dolores says that the only reason there are a boys' alliance is because the girls are giving into them. Hence, BT and J. I want good gameplay too. I know. Wait, Dolores, you're the Leo and your husband's an Aquarius, correct? I think so.
I love Dolores. I'll say it again.
Yes. Yes. She's definitely always comes and supports. I love that. And she always has something to say. It's perfect. One thing, though, that Ro and Kyle did mention that I thought was good strategy in their pitch was that they did have reason to vote out LaToya, which it's kind of, I think it was good for them to say to Kiefer, as opposed to it just being like following what Victoria wanted. Like, it was good that way for them.
They had a reason to do it. They had a reason to do what they were doing, and that was good. And I definitely think they should have done that. That was their play to do. They didn't have much though, but they had that.
For me though, I just found that their approach and their tone, like they just, just some people just kind of bother you. Those two, how they approach Kiefer, it has like this like sound of arrogance and condescension that really grates on my nerves. And so I just am not a fan of either of those two, how they speak to him. And yes, they might be laying out facts and truths, but there's something about how they say it seems to me that it has like you're really stupid if you don't listen to what we're saying and agree with it. And it's
it's kind of like talking down to rather than talking to, and I'm not a fan of that. I'd be like, bye.
So Tara, Tina, and Kiefer are talking, and he does tell them about what his actual plan is, and he is working with them. Did they release on the episodes yet their little trio name?
I don't remember hearing it, but I love this trio, and I don't think the house suspects it, and it's really good. And I think because Tina specifically kind of faded away from the alliance a little bit and is just off with Tara, and they're on their own thing, people aren't putting the three of them together, and I think it's really smart. I hope that the three of them make it to the end right now. I love them.
So I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. It's not really that big of a deal. So they named it, this is like a week and a half ago, I think. Yeah. I think it's pre-90s or before 90s Alliance. That's their trio name.
Love it, because they're all
like the older people in the house.
Wait, so I'm older because I wasn't born in the 90s? Ugh, 80.
You're pre-90s.
I'm pre-90s. I'm old.
Dolores should tell us because of me that you watch Couch Potato. Aww.
Wait, no, okay, well, we were trying to figure this out because Sam and Alex were like, how do we find Dolores? We love her. And I'm like, I want to know how we found Dolores. So I will let them know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chantel, you should probably come on our Drag Race podcast on a Friday one night. We should have you on.
Yeah, I can do that because what I used to do, the reason why I couldn't is because I was watching it. A friend streams it and he streams it at 9:30 and then we watched right after Untucked. And so, but now that I got a new cable service, that I can probably watch it on my own and then I can fast forward the commercials and all that stuff. And
I can hook you up. I can hook you up with my Xfinity. Get you in there and watching it.
What time does it air?
8 p.m. 8 to 9:30.
8 to 9:30. Okay.
And then Untucked is 9:30 to 10, and then we go on at 10:15.
So okay, if you hook me up, then yes, I will come on right after.
Totally having you on. We will plan this. If you are free Friday,
yes.
Let's go. Let's do
this.
Okay.
Check. I would love to talk to you guys about Drag Race. Did you guys watch Drag Race UK?
Of course.
Oh.
Okay, so what? Okay, I know we're like going off
subject. We'll talk about it on Friday.
Okay, we'll talk about it on Friday.
Friday. Just because I have so much to say.
I'm sorry.
And I don't know if Big Brother Canada people watch Drag Race UK.
It's okay. It's all good.
What was I saying? So Tara actually suggests Brayden and Austin as a possibility because Kiefer seems to be, his narrative is that he wants to break up some of these duos. The duos, we got Tara and Tina as a duo. We got Jed and Ty, or Jed and Beth, or whatever, the thruple duos, whatever. The other twosome that we have is Kyle and Ro. And so I like that he's looking at these duos and he's wants to target one of them. And so with Tara suggesting Brayden and Austin, like, it's a good idea in kind of in the long run, because they're saying they're both going to fly under the radar, and Austin is seemingly going to be the comp beast of the season. So do you think that it would have been best for Kiefer to put up maybe Brayden and Austin as opposed to Kyle and Ro?
No, he made the right decision, because if Austin was the target, it's obvious you need to backdoor them. If someone's a big strategy beast, and if Austin's that person, like, you don't put them up, you backdoor. That's that's the only way to get them out, is through the backdoor.
The backdoor is so, I mean,
it's so slimy. It's so slimy, but you got to do it in a game like that. There are times when if it's someone who's beasting and Janelle, you got to do it.
Oh my God, I don't even know what that would be like, because to be honest, I think it would suck, because the closest that I've had to a backdoor was I was playing an online Survivor game, and it was just came merge, and the other side used all their like idol nullifier, vote steal, all these things against me, so I wouldn't be able to stay. And so that's kind of felt like a backdoor, because there was nothing that I could do to keep myself in the game. Like, had this person was going to play an idol on me and then they got spooked and they played on themselves, but they even had the idol nullifier out there just in case he did use it on me. So like, I just had I couldn't have done anything about it.
I will tell you, those online games drain you. I'm like, I am never playing one again. I'm never doing it.
I'll tell you about the last one that I played. The last two that I played were terrible. Well, I mean, they're great, but they're terrible.
Chantal, after this podcast, I am literally like buying a bunch of junk food, taking a hot shower, and telling the world to go F itself.
Oh my God, I want to hear that though. Maybe you'll give me a little update. Just like I still like hearing how the game went, even if it's this online game.
I know.
A little bit. So Victoria comes in and you kind of to campaign to Kiefer and said that last week she worked really hard to keep him, which I'm just like, okay, Victoria, you didn't really work that hard to keep him, but like, if that's the narrative that she wants to go with, fine. But this one's when Kiefer does say that he wants to play with her, and he wants her to act nervous, don't act too confident. So I thought that was good strategically of Kiefer, just to give her that kind of her brief to like go out there and just play the role and everything will be okay. What do you think about? So you would like this duo, you were saying?
I love it. I love them together, and honestly, like, you don't see it. It's no one really, and I don't know why people don't put it together, but they aren't. I don't get why they aren't. Do you know why they aren't putting it together?
I think because they're both such outsiders.
Yeah.
They don't think that they would connect. And I think that actually it would be smart for them to be a pair with each other, because yes, Kiefer does have some numbers, and I don't think that Tina and Tara are going to come for him. I don't think that the old Sunsetters of Beth, Jed, and Ty, I don't think they're going to come for him right now. But he doesn't have his one bona fide person that's like going to, stick with them. So I think it's good for him to get, a second, another island that he gets to rest with.
Yeah.
It's a good plan, I think. What's Bean saying? Hi, Bean. Hi. Did you find it funny when Kiefer told Ty he wanted to break up a duo? Ty seemed not to realize that he was one of those duos.
He had no clue. It was great.
Yeah. Well, maybe because he's in a throuple. He can that one out.
What do they call themselves? The isosceles triangle?
I think it's kind of a funny name. I'm just also like, Beth, how do you not know what the three triangles are? Did you know what they were when he was mentioning them?
Yeah, I knew about it. Yeah, I remember it from I remember them belting it into me in like elementary school, learning all about the shapes and stuff.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I was just surprised that she didn't remember them. She's like, you remember what? She's like, what's the socialistas or whatever? And I'm like, you don't know what an isosceles triangle is? Like, and he's like, but what's the other one with the different angles? And he's like, scalene. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, scalene.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, I might not remember how to do Pythagoras' theorem anymore.
Congruent, all this. I remember my teacher had this like accent, and she was like congruent, and I was like, I remember that because she would talk about what it is.
Back then, I was a math person. I was math for most of my life. Like, I actually really like math, but
I love that. I love that for you. Love that.
You're not a math person?
No. When I went for a true story, okay, when I went to university, we had to take a math placement test. I scored so bad on the math placement test, I had to take a course that had no credit on it. So I had to basically take a waste course my freshman year to get into a course where I could get the credit. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but the thing is, though, with that, you probably didn't. Somebody probably told you that you weren't good at math, and you probably just never allowed yourself to be good at math. You just probably assumed, well, I'm not good at math, I'm not good at math, and you just probably stopped learning. So
I mean, I can do better.
Yeah,
I've done better since I worked like in customer service in the past for mortgages. I did that for years, and I learned math a little bit with that. I got a little better, but you know.
I was such a math nerd, though. I actually was like, I was like a math champion for a while. When I was, my mom reminded me, she's like, when we were trying to get information for like Big Brother stuff, and she's like, yeah, like you were like math champion for Canada when you were like 12, which is kind of funny. But I used to watch TV shows like MathNet, which is kind of like Dragnet with like math equations and like
I love it.
Math games like Number Munchers, and it would have like different equations, and you have to like eat it like Pac-Man. So I've always been a math fan.
So you totally okay. So this was like brawn versus beauty versus brain. You'd totally be a brain. I think you'd be a beauty. Because you're gorgeous, obviously. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm still considered brainy.
I mean, I think you're really smart. I think you'd be like a blend of the two, beauty and brain.
Thank you. No brawn?
Oh no, I wouldn't be brawn. I'd probably be like the alternative one.
We don't know where to fit you. Okay, so BB says, but are they officially together, Cooper and Vic? It did not seem official. They didn't really make it seem official on the episode. I do feel as though it's more official in the live feed. Like I feel as though he's stands up for her, or like he says things like, I'm not coming after her. So I do feel as though he wants to go deeper into this game with Victoria than most other people in the house do. So if we look at it that way, he's probably her closest ally right now.
Yeah, I agree. And that could help her, though. That means Victoria potentially, if Kiefer keeps up this thing with Tina and Tara, Victoria could come in with that maybe. And then that could be a 4 that's really unstoppable in this game. If they do it and start taking out all the boys, that might be what they can do.
No, I kind of just want, though, I want Kyle and Ro gone, and then you can go after, Ty and Jed. Fine.
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
I want those.
I don't like Kyle. I don't like Kyle.
I just really didn't like how he was talking to Kiefer, and it really bothered me on both ends from both of them. So, okay, what do you think about the Wendy's element of Big Brother Canada? Because they don't have anything even similar on BBUS, really.
I love it. I wish they did on BBUS, but BBS they'd have like Taco Bell or something. That's what they would do.
We would talk about here too, but
I know, but like I feel like T-Bell's like really popular in the US.
Wait, do you have Wendy's?
Yeah. Oh my god, I love Wendy's.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably ask my roommate to go get it for me after this podcast, or I might go get it for both of us.
Sure.
Well,
I'm tell here. Me in the chat. I don't think it's.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Don't worry. It's been happening.
Wait.
Okay, I realized what happened. So
Okay.
whenever it kicked me off before, it kicked me onto my old Wi-Fi that I got rid of.
Okay,
I'm like, this shouldn't be happening. It's on the new Wi-Fi. And I just
so
checked.
we just roll with the punches here, and we are good to go. Yes.
I'm just talking about it, you know.
That's good.
So yeah, I love the Wendy's twist personally. I think that it gives an opportunity to talk and strategize with somebody and maybe build a bond, or you know, if you want to bring them back in, which is I think why he chose Tina. Do you think he should have chosen Tina, or was somebody else maybe a better choice for him?
I think Tina was a good choice. I think that she's a good one. I think that she stays her ground. I think that she's not over the top and out there. I think that she's someone that he can really partner up with and people won't see it. So yes, I think Tina was a good one.
And I like the fact that they were the people that were voted in by Canada. And you know, they kind of want to work together deep into the game. So I like that for sure.
Yeah.
Also, like when he went to the window to pick up his food, he had a video message from his girlfriend, and he got to see his kids who are so cute. Oh, I like seeing him with his family. I think that, you know, I enjoyed his whole Wendy's moment. And I love it as an opportunity to strategize. It's key. But I always think though the fries must be so dry. Like there's no way you can get those Wendy's to them in house.
Wendy's fries are incredible. Wendy's in general is incredible. Like I hope my roommate hears me right now saying I love Wendy's. So I will totally go get it for me and him after this. It's gonna happen. So it'll be good.
I don't even know where the nearest Wendy's is from here.
Oh, less than a mile from me.
Okay, I'm sure there's one that's less than a mile, or that's like 2 kilometers. What's more, 2.2 kilometers?
Okay.
Oh my God, we're gonna start a GoFundMe for Chantal's internet. I actually think it was only mine. It was both of ours.
Both of ours went out at the same time.
It was both of ours because his actually left first, and then mine left. So and we're all on the east side. So maybe there's something going on with like the eastern airs or something.
Do you remember when there was that like big in like 2003 where like all of the Midwest and East Coast just went out of power? I think.
Yes, I was like, I don't know, maybe 20, I think. And no, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. But I do remember that everybody where downtown was like using generators and just giving out everything. So if you walk by like an ice cream place, like they were just giving out all their ice cream, and like you walk by their pizza place, like just giving out all their food and cooking everything and just giving everything away for free because they knew that nothing was going to be like no refrigeration or anything like that. So everything was going to go bad. And so I remember that. And I also remember that I wanted my mom to pick me up, but like we didn't have any power. Like my phone was dead, and like the landline was a portable phone, and so that was dead. And I'm like, how am I going to get home? And I'm like, I'm just going to take a taxi and hope that she has money to give me when I get there. But we can't go to the bank because the bank's down. Anyway, it was definitely a moment that I remember very clearly.
I love that.
Like the moment that BB notices the strategically placed sunlight dish detergent.
They love to advertise on BBCan. They don't do that on US, but BBCan is like, here's the dish detergent, here's Wendy's. Like they love to do that there.
And I do have to say though that sometimes the challenges that they do to support the sponsors are kind of bad, but these ones been pretty good so far. A lot of Max competitions that I think have been good competitions. Like I liked that crossword one. I thought that was a really good competition, and I even liked the one where you could see the different scenarios, the dreams vacation scenarios, and you had to like remember certain parts of it. So I thought that they've been incorporating the sponsorship quite well this season. How are you feeling about it?
I think they're doing a good job with it. I think altogether this season is doing well. They needed to make up for it after last season's unfortunate events. So
it was funny that the sponsor was Wendy's, but yeah, we saw a commercial for McDonald's. Did we? I don't remember seeing a McDonald's commercial.
I don't know.
Are you watching it on a Canadian network?
Yeah, Dolores, where are you watching it? I know there's a few ways to watch it.
So I get it. East Coasters, yes. East Coast. That's where it is, where the people are, you know.
Cool people.
It's
I am
true.
Michigan.
Exactly. You're a neighbor for sure. I've been to Michigan many times.
Come visit.
Well, I used to go though because I was a flight attendant, and so we always had layovers there. But I don't know when I'll be flying again, so
Hey.
it'll just have to be a drive or something like that.
Come drive across the bridge, or under there's also the
walkway
tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I do know that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So Tina comes back out of talking with Tara and Ro, and he goes to Tina comes out from talking with Kiefer and Tara and starts talking to Ro, saying that she doesn't know where he's headed, even though she actually does know, and that he's being very tight-lipped. And so I thought it was a good strategy of Tina to realize that she doesn't want people to know that she's getting any kind of insider information from Kiefer. So I thought that was good. And Tara joins that conversation as well. And this is when when Ro is talking with the toothbrush in his mouth. Does he really think that they're on his side?
I don't know. It was hard to read on that, but I think so. I'm not. Yes, there. By the way, there's a tunnel. I'm not 100% sure on that. I feel like he does trust them.
Okay, don't hold it against me. I was watching it through Twitch. It's totally fine. I'm just thinking about what network would have if it didn't have a Wendy's commercial as well. Like it usually has Wendy's. Like I don't remember what I saw though. What did you see any commercials today?
I didn't notice the McDonald's commercial, but doesn't mean it didn't happen.
No, I'll go back and watch.
Yeah,
I'll
watch it.
Dolores. What else happens here? So Kiefer wakes up and he kind of like stumbles down the stairs. And do you think that he was told to go and maybe snoop around? Because it seems as though he woke up.
What was that?
Right to a new room that's open, the Expedia room. And he kind of seems to go around and kind of like
explore,
jump and be excited or whatnot. I didn't really see him ransacking the room or anything like that. So I don't know if they cut that part out. Then he goes back upstairs, quite out of breath, and he tells Jed he's sleeping in the bed. And who's the other person?
I know Jed. Who's the other one?
Brayden.
Who? What?
Brayden was up there as well.
Yeah, behind. Yeah.
And so they think he's lying because it's just so odd. They go down, and everybody starts kind of filing in, seeing this new Expedia bedroom.
Yeah, I feel like that was planted. I feel like production told him to do it. I don't think it was just like a random. Kiefer, please come to the diary room.
Where's the payoff, though? Where's the payoff? Like, is there a secret clue in there? Did he find something that we don't know? Like, I want to know why they're making us see this room.
I think next episode it will be something. It could have something to do with the veto competition. There could be a secret twist there. Maybe some sort of like Diamond Power veto or some sort of, thing, because they haven't really done it up this season yet with that kind of thing. So, hey, there you go.
So what do you think of Beth, Ty, and Jed thinking that Austin is such a big threat? And that she's a bigger threat than Ro and Kyle.
She's winning more competitions. I mean, they aren't wrong, right?
But it's two of them that need to be split up. I
agree
that Kyle and Ro, they will come after you. Maybe Austin would as well, but I feel as though she would be a little bit more malleable in her decisions.
I think, she's more willing, to do something than Kyle and Ro. I mean, Kyle and Ro, I think, are kind of unstoppable duo. So I would really like to see them get split up rather than her. But in that game, I feel like you just don't realize it. And I feel like you're in such a whirlwind there that you don't think about the decisions that you make. And some people make some really dumb decisions and don't realize that they're doing it in that house until it's over.
Yes. Well, because even then Ty goes to talk to Kiefer about this, being like, I think that we can get out Ro and Kyle at any time. We should take out a big target. It's like, well, also though, Austin is a big target. Keeping her in there, she can always be the big target. You don't want someone like Kyle and Roe to be able to get any power. The way that they spoke to him would mean that I would not want to see what they did with that power, because they didn't seem to want to respect Kiefer at all. And I don't know if I want to see them have any power.
If he lets both of them make it out of this week without either of them getting evicted, they're going to come for him. He's right there.
Of course they are, and they're going to have a good reason now. You put them up on the block, and so even like if Ty was considering this, like knowing that if they stayed, like they would be coming after Kiefer, and then Kiefer would know if you kept them, that basically means that you know that they're dangerous to Kiefer's game. Like that would just be detrimental to their positioning. So bad, so bad. And this makes me nervous. It makes Kiefer nervous that maybe for them suggesting this, that Ty and Jed might be working with Roe and Kai. Oh my God, these names. Ty, Jed, Roe, Kai. I was happy though that Kiefer was able to like recognize that, okay, like, are you working with them? Like, why are you wanting to keep them? Like, Ty sealed it with, I don't care who goes this week, which I was like, okay, good. Like, thank you. Like, just stop trying to campaign for Kyle and Roe, please. So Austin goes to the ball pit whenever she is feeling stressed out. She's able to just kind of decompress there. I really like the ball pit for this. And you see her pretty little head just at the top of the balls. And it's like she's doing a confessional or talking to the live feeders. And then she was talking to Kyle. What do you think about that whole little scene?
I thought it was so cute. And I love the ball pit room, by the way. It's my favorite, have not room ever, truthfully. I love it. But it was cute. I love her. I really do like her. I don't like Kyle, but I like her.
And I don't know if they'll show it on the feeds, but it seems as though she might be crushing on him a little bit.
I get that sense a little bit. Just a smidge.
Just a teeny little bit. And one of the last scenes before the actual nominations, we see Roe talking to Kiefer in the and talking about the rationalizing the pantry situation or whatnot. And Kiefer had some pretty good lines here. And one thing that he said was, "Sorries are about as valuable as promises. They're not."
Ooh!
Not valuable in the Big Brother. Kind of like when James says you can bounce checks in the Big Brother house. Sorries are just as valuable. And I thought that was like a really truthful statement.
Yes.
And I loved it.
I totally did too. I thought it was great. And when Rohan laughed, Kiefer was laughing. I was like, yes.
Yes. And so we get the nomination ceremony. And no surprise to anybody, Kyle and Rohan are up on the block. And he did have some choice words for his nomination speech. He didn't feel as though Rohan came with a heartfelt apology and that he didn't respect him last week. And for Kyle, he believes that Kyle would take Roe down. And so that is why he's putting those two both up on the block, which I think is fantastic.
Good move. I think it was a great move, and I think that's what Canada wanted too. Canada wants them on the block.
We did. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. So I thought it was weird. All of a sudden, suddenly found a room. It was kind of suspect. Yeah, I know. It was definitely really suspect. I want to see what the payoff is, though. I want to see why. Why is this room here? Who are you voting for to get the day off slop? I think the edits want Roe. Is that a new thing again, like this week? I didn't see is it every week that somebody gets skip the dishes?
I'm not sure.
Well, if it is, then I don't care for. Roe can.
I wouldn't vote for Roe. I would vote for. Who would I vote for? I feel like I'd vote for like Kiefer, or Tina, or Tara. One of the three of them.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Roe for me though. Like I kind of
maybe Ty
this week.
I don't know.
I don't know. That was an interesting line. Yes, it was.
It was great.
I liked it. Has Kiefer ever apologized for anything? I think he has a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like he has an apologetic kind of demeanor in general. Like, I think
what you see is what you get with him. I think he owns it.
Bean thinks that the statement might come back to bite Kiefer. Huh. Do you think?
I don't think. Oh, it just depends. If those two somehow survive this week, I think it will come back to bite him. If one of them gets evicted, I think it's basically a flush, a reshuffle, and everything will be okay. But if both of them make it through, sorry, Kiefer.
I mean, for his game, one of them has to go.
They have to.
Has to. And the last line of the episode, Kiefer says, "Where I come from, respect is everything. An apology in Big Brother doesn't mean that much."
I love it. He's good with those speeches. He can make it work.
I mean, I would probably want to do epic speeches. Like, that would be like my fun for the week, would be like creating an epic speech. That would be what I would want to do. That would be my fun and entertainment. So they said to go to vote to see if they hadn't have a day off of slop, exactly what they did last week. Okay, I didn't see that yet. You would vote Ro? No, Dolores. Don't you want him to be like grouchy?
Well, Dolores, I agree with you on Drag Race, but not.
Maybe we're misunderstanding what Dolores is saying here. So, everybody, if you do not want to hear or talk about any live feed stuff or any spoilers, this would be your time to say sayonara. Join me here again on Wednesday with Jonathan, Thursday with JoJo for more of us talking about Big Brother Canada. So, this is the time when we talk about spoilers. You had some spoilers that you wanted to talk about before, Josh. Go for it.
I'm just really sad because they're backdooring Austin. And
No, what?
Aren't they? Isn't Austin on the block?
He is on the block. So Austin is on the block. She was a replacement nominee. Rohan did win the power of veto. I feel like I heard that they threw it to him, but I'm not sure if that is true. Yes, Bean, we're doing it for you. But I don't believe she's the target from what I've heard.
As of now, what we're hearing, she's not the target. Okay, cool. Because I saw her on the block, and I'm like, how are they not taking her out? She's this comp beast. But if they don't, we good.
As far as I know, that it's still going to be Kyle. It's going to be Kyle that would be going home this week. And you know what, though? It is smart to put up Austin, especially if they're noticing maybe any of a showmance maybe brewing between them.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what they're being perceived within the house.
Yeah.
I don't like that he kind of went against his word. I know you can bounce checks, but like, it's just, he didn't necessarily need to keep his word to Austin or need to, but like, I felt like he should.
Yeah.
And maybe put up Victoria and be like, you're not the target, you're the pawn, blah, 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 play your role, just kind of like she did to him. Maybe do that. And keep Austin from still going after you specifically. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think that he should have put her up, but I think it's because if she went home, he wouldn't be that upset. But I think it's better for his game, personally, for Kyle to go home.
Yeah.
Yes, Ro, he has not been off slop. I feel bad for him. Okay. Well, this is all the tea that I really have right now, though. So it's just like the veto. It still looks like Kyle is the target.
Let him go. I'm not a fan. And I heard, wasn't there like a rumor that he was a little problematic too when they cast him?
I haven't heard that. I heard he was just taking over for the Ethan guy that was problematic.
Yeah. So the Ethan guy was problematic, but I guess after they put him on, there were some minor things about him as well. That's what I heard. I don't know the specifics, but I definitely heard there were some things with him, but it obviously wasn't to the extreme that the original guy was. So
I haven't heard that personally, but obviously I don't like to hear it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but this is the world that we live in, is that people can track your every word down, even if you don't believe these things anymore, you know? Like,
sorry, don't be problematic.
How do people find these things? So these Twitter and Reddit sleuthers, like, Like, okay, the one thing I need to know is how do they get that screenshot that's immediately deleted? Like somebody post something and then delete it, and then someone just already just posted up like, got it. Like,
people are good. People know how to search the internet. Yeah, they've mastered it.
Good. Okay, so Laura says, I think that Beth, Ty, and Jed want Austin out next week. I think that's what they said. I do think for their game, it's probably better for Austin to go. I don't think for this week it's the best decision for keeping those two guys in there. I think they're too powerful together. And yes, Brayden and Austin are in a very good position, and Austin is very capable of winning a lot of things. So yes, dangerous, but I think that they need to separate the other one that they just have upswing. Like they would probably, one of them is going to win. Like I bet you Rohan is winning next week. You know what I mean? Like I think that they needed to do this move right now and maybe deal with Austin next week.
Agreed. So I'm just hoping that Austin doesn't go because I do like Austin. I think Austin could be a Janelle. Austin can win those challenges. And I'd like the Austin Brayden mix. I'd like it.
I do too. I definitely like them. I pretty much like everybody except for Kyle and Ro really in the house.
Me
Victoria is a little bit too messy for me game wise, but entertainment wise, definitely she's holding it there. But everybody else I still like. I know a lot of people don't love Beth, but I don't really mind her. Like she's fine by me.
She's kind of like in the middle for me. I'm indifferent on Beth.
Are you playing the reality stock watch with RGP?
No, I'm not.
We will buy some stocks on Tuesday.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll hit that up for sure.
All my stocks right now are in on Tara, so like I'm rooting for Tara now, which I never thought I would do because I don't particularly like her, but she's in a pretty good position. And I would have bought Tina, but her price was too high, so I was like, okay, Tara's low, and Tina would go before Tara if they were both up together, I would think.
Agreed.
And so maybe Tara has more longevity in the game. So
I think both Tara and Tina will make Jerky.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep my stocks in on Tara right now. I also heard Austin and Brayden are planning on throwing the next HOH. I don't know if
now they're going to be throwing the next HOH.
Was that before or after the renom, Dolores?
Yeah, was it before?
Who would Ro bond with after Kyle leaves?
I feel like maybe Ty and
Jed,
maybe three of them.
But like it's better to keep him obviously because Kyle is liked by Austin. He's just able to fit in a little bit more. I feel like Ro is not that well liked by other people. Maybe he'll talk to Victoria.
Maybe. He would be great with her because he could be like, hey, come with me, Victoria. Let me take you on the rest of the journey here. There you go.
I mean, that could be great. I don't stop, Dolores. There's no squares in this relationships or what quadruples, quadruples.
Let's make it a 4-person one. That'll be great.
Beth in the shade. I'm thinking Rohan winning HOH would shake things up. I mean, I think you just put up the two boys.
Yeah. I think so.
Fine. It's okay.
I'd like that though. I'd like the two boys going up. That's what I want.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind some people feeling the hot seat though.
Who specifically?
I mean, I love Brayden. I think he's playing a great game, but I would like to see him like sweat a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he's pretty much coasted. He hasn't really had to play. So I wouldn't mind seeing if the conversations that he's having when his life is on the line. Yeah. And I also would be interesting to see Tara and Tina sweat a little bit. They're also been in a really great position. They've been able to make the decisions of the direction of the votes. And that's a really powerful position that they're not really playing that well. They don't really like the fact that they have to lie to one side and lie to the other side. And like, they're in the middle. And I'm like, the middle's the best position. It's hard to play. But it's the best position. So I wouldn't mind seeing what they do if they were nominated and they had to fight. I feel as though Jed and Ty, I would know what they're like on the block. I feel like with having LaToya up there, it was kind of like they were on the block anyway. So I don't know if I need to see that, but maybe Beth and one of them could be interesting.
Yeah, possibly. I think it would be fun. I mean, I think I want to see maybe Tina and Tara would be two good ones to go on the block together because it would be fun to watch them squirm a little bit. But
right?
I'd want Tina to survive though, not Tara.
I would want Tina to survive 100%. I like Tina personally better than Tara. But for talking about my stopwatch here, I'm going to try to do well this year. I want to get to the top 10, and so I think I have to root for Tara here. When I probably would never, ever do that, really.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, pawns go home. I don't think that Austin is a pawn. I think she's being put up there as somebody that if they went home, it wouldn't be the worst. But I don't think she's a pawn, and I don't think she's home. I don't. No. You never know. Row won't go. Oh, we never know. Well, that's pretty much all that we have. Dolores or BBan, do you have anything else that's going on in the house and in the feeds right now? Any other tea that we don't know about? Did anybody win any other prizes? Find any secret balls? No?
Any more things? Anyone else get Wendy's? You know?
Well, I know that you don't want to talk about the org that you were just voted out of, but do you want to share anything that you are up to this week or in life that you want to share with the people?
There's so much for all of you watching. I know Dolores knows what I'm about to say, but I have run a network as well. It's called Couch Potato Queens. Chantel has been on it with our Survivor recaps, which we actually are taking a break on Survivor because we're going to be moving into Big Brother. So that'll be fun, but we really cover everything. We have the challenge now. We're doing a challenge one. We had Mike Manning, who was on Real World DC. We had an interview with him, which is really cool. We do Survivor. We have interviews with some survivors like Lex and Lindsay Richter, John Carroll, just to name a few. We also do Drag Race every Friday night at 10:15. So definitely follow us on Twitter. It's at Couch Potato Queens. So at Couch Potato QWNZ, or like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Couch Potato Queens.
And I will put all those links in the description box below, just so if you guys don't remember what he said, you want to just click on something, I will.
Yep. Oh, I forgot. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mendels8, MENDELS, and the number 8.
Okay, they'll do it. BB will do it. Ro, HOH, said that he would put up the boys, and Vic is the third. See, Vic is not safe with them. BB says, thank you. No, thank you, BB. You're such a good support. What are we going to do? We're not going to spend 3 hours together tomorrow talking about The Bachelor. What are we going to talk about? Yes, Tina needs to survive. Yeah, I think Tina's going to go far. These are just kind of dream scenarios. I would like to see Tina and Tara up on the block together. And I would like to talk to you again. That was so fun. Thank you.
I would love to do this again.
Yes, for joining me on the block. Yay. And just to remind you guys, please, well, A, thank you for watching. And B, subscribe to Reality Pop. We are your new hub for all things reality. And we're just going to be having more and more content. So I've been doing a lot of things about Big Brother, but we're going to have the Challenge OG season, the All-Star season. We're going to start talking about that.
So excited for that. I will be watching.
Absolutely.
So excited. Beth is coming back.
It's insane. The great people that we've all fallen in love with in the last 2 decades of watching the challenge, and et cetera, et cetera. And so we're going to be covering that, and obviously tons and tons of Survivor coverage is going to be going on Reality Pop. So join us, subscribe, come back, visit us on the block, and we'll be seeing you guys soon, right? Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.